I smell BS. I smell BS. I smell BS. I smell BS. Oh man, here we go again. I mean, the year just started and already the media propaganda is in full effect. Once again, here we go with this knockout game, this ever growing trend that's happening all day, every day, of black people just randomly knocking out whites. I mean, seriously. Like, reality check. The knockout trend is no way, shape, or form a detrimental to white people than the ever growing, ever always occurring white on white crimes. The shooting, the abuse, the stabbing of a white offender towards a white victim. And it amazes me how people always tell black people we always make it about black and white. We always make it about a racial issue. Everything is not always black and white. Why do black people always look at everything as black and white? But yet the hypocritical white people who keep bringing up stories about black on white crime are the main ones who make it about a black and white issue because they never bring up any concerns, they never bring up any stories about these massive white on white crimes, these massive white offenders majority of the time attacking white victims. I mean, if it was such an issue, then you would focus more on the interracial crimes than you would interracial crimes. But no, they don't do that because there are white people who look at things in black and white. They always make it about race. Everything is always about race to them. So they can't sit here and say that black people always make it about race when they're doing the exact same thing. Like I said, hypocrites, please keep your mouth shut when it comes to these type of topics because you just look like a fool. I mean, it's like the old saying goes, the pot calling the kettle black. Alright, so let's go and get into it, man. I mean, like I said, this is not going to be a very long video. But I just had to come out of hiatus and just speak my mind about this. Alright, so there was this celebrity chick by the name of Rose McGowan. And she was talking about how she personally saw a knockout game being commenced of yesterday in LA. In the article, it says that where is this? She tweeted it. What was funny is that she tweeted what happened. Her tweet says, "I just witnessed a 65-year-old man get punched by an evil guy playing that goddamn knockout game. Hashtag criminal. Hashtag heartbroken. Hashtag what the F." Rose said the attacker was wearing a mask and riding a skateboard, and while she tried to chase after the bad guy, he was just too fast and got away. McGowan said the victim was bleeding from the ear, so she called an ambulance for him. Rose said the victim had a little dog with him at the time that tried to protect him, but couldn't fend off the attacker. So far, no word on the identity of the attacker or the victim. And that article was from TMZ. Now, when you hear the word knockout game, of course, people always think, oh my God, it was a black person who knocked out an old white man. But yet, we don't have any identity. We don't know what the race of the 65-year-old man. We don't know the race of the offender. But yet, when you go on these websites, when you go online, you see the comments talk about Negroes, KNEEGROW, as if we don't know who they're talking about. That's all they ever do. All they ever do is commit racial hate crimes. It's like the same sad record being played over and over again. I mean, it's funny how this made news on TMZ all because Rose McGowan has been celebrity who we hardly ever see on TV anymore. Talk about she witnessed a knockout game. Well, like hell. You know, just yesterday, McGowan just witnessed a knockout game. I just saw this young 16-year-old white kid knock out this 78-year-old black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's how stupid it is. And then it's it's ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. It's like forget about the white guys beating up Latinos, or the white hate crimes of white on black, or the white on white crimes that's happening, or the James Holmes, the Adam Lanzas. Forget all about them. Forget them. Those are not important. What's important is this knockout trend that's going on. It's just funny just talking about it, man. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's like the lady in the supermarket. It's like the lady in the clothing store following the black guy around, but she ignores the white guy who's stuffing shirts and jeans into his bag and then walking out the darn store. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of those situations in real life. Everybody's so focused on the knockout game, but yet they ignore all the other antics, the other immoral actions that are being committed by whites towards other whites or other races. I mean, seriously, it's like, come on, y'all. Like, no matter how hard you try, you just can't change. You just can't change the fact that intraracial crime outnumbers interracial crime. Like, focus on what's really an epidemic. And then, what really made me want to do this video is I go on Google News and I'm scrolling through, just looking at different articles to read throughout the day. And then I run into this article about a Brooklyn guy by the name of Barry Baldwin was arrested for the knockout for the knockout game, for knocking out Jews. And as I'm looking at the picture and as I'm reading the article, I'm like, the first thing that popped into my mind is like, okay, when it comes to black criminals, the media is so hell bent on putting up a picture, a mugshot of the black offender when he robs, kills, does anything heinous, anything that's unlawful in society. They're so quick to put this picture plastered up on TV, in the magazines, newspapers, on the websites. But it's funny how when it comes to arresting this African American for knocking out Jews, as they claim, how they don't have a mugshot of the guy. Rather, they have a sketch drawing of the culprit. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I smell BS. Like, I really do. Like, seriously, are we really doing this? Like, what is going on with the media, man? And then I'm saying to myself, the media has incredible resources when it comes to finding out things, finding out information, or more importantly, pulling up pictures of a culprit, especially black culprits. But somehow, some way, none of the news outlets, none of the websites are able to pull up a picture of Barry Baldwin mugshot. I'm like, I have yet to see a mugshot. All they're showing us is a sketch drawing of what he's supposed to look like. A black guy with a scub cap with these little dusty little braids coming out the hat. I'm like, really? You guys really caught the culprit? You guys really caught Barry Baldwin, a 35-year-old man, for knocking out white people because of this knockout game? Really? I went on mugshot.com. I typed his name, and there was not one picture of this 35-year-old black guy with dreads. Nowhere. Only picture I was able to pull up is this old dusty-looking white man named Barry Baldwin. I'm like, this man looks nowhere near. This man looks nothing like the sketch drawing. So I'm like, what is going on, man? Like, someone is definitely lying. And then I tried to do an experiment, and you guys heard about the white guy. He got arrested for the knockout game. What's his name? What is his name? Like Conrad Barrett? I think that's what his name is. I'm gonna check real quick. Conrad. I mean, it's just amazing, dude. Yes, Conrad Barry. That's his name. I typed his name in a mugshot.com, and I was able to pull up his mugshot. But when I type Barry Baldwin, there's not a picture of him. Like, that's why at the beginning of this video I said I smell BS, because something's fishy, man. I'm not. The main point that I'm saying is that I'm not buying these two stories. There's no such thing as a Barry Baldwin got arrested for a knockout crime, for a knockout game. Like, there's not an ever-growing trend of the knockout game being perpetrated by black people. Would you please stop lying? Okay, Rose McGowan, you did not. Well, she didn't actually say who the race of the person was, but it's just this perceived notion that the users of certain websites, they comment and they claim that it's Negroes who's doing this, when she didn't even say who it was. Like, what's up with this preconceived notion that it's black people who was doing these knockout games? And what's this perceived notion that it's such an epidemic that's going on around, that it's black people just knocking out whites left and right? Like, there's a black person knocking out a white person right now. Did you see it? If you did, videotape it. I mean, seriously. I really don't want to go too in depth about this, because this is such a pointless topic of discussion. Like, it's already been debunked numerous times by different people. There's really no sense of me even going in depth about it, because you can check it out on YouTube for yourself. I mean, like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to just come out of hiatus and just speak about this, because I just think it's just complete utter nonsense. Like, people, can we please get it together? There's no such thing as this epidemic of a knockout game. Rose McGowan then said there was a black person who knocked out this old man. And I'm not the only one who has the internet. If you guys can go on to any of these mugshot websites, anything that you know, any website that you believe is a credible website, type the name Barry Baldwin and see if you come up with his mugshot, and then type in Conrad Barrett and come up with his mugshot. And you tell me, who do you believe? What do you believe? And of course, there are idiots on here who believe more about the Barry Baldwin, like this guy actually got arrested for doing this. I just want to talk to the people who have common sense. Common sense individuals. Go on to any mugshot website that you believe is a credible website. Type in the name Barry Baldwin, and let me know, or let anyone else know, that you have come up on his picture. He's supposed to be 35 years old, black, with some little dusty looking dreads. Okay? That's all the time I have, y'all. This is Macadon. Until next time, I'm gone.